Yeah, I'm on my way home. I'm no good for you, so I drive around Manhattan. They're all laughing, oh, I'm tragic. Yeah, I'm driving in my car and seeing open, but I can't go down that road.
Hello, everybody. Sorry for the late start. We have already kicked off, but things were a little messed up on the stream side, so apologies for that. As already, we've got our first results. I believe, unless this is simply Lewis and Clark's warm-ups. I think it is, actually. So, that was Stress for Nothing. And I will... Yeah, I do think that was... Yeah, that was Stress for Nothing. So, I will... He actually had me super worrying, by the way, Mr. Lewis and Clark. Hold on. Give me 3 seconds here. Let me put you back on the music. All right, folks. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to... You can already tell that it's the first stream of the year because I actually had no clue what was happening there. I was just confused. I didn't know it got pushed back till 05, their start time. Sometimes it's also not just on me, you know. Put that back. There we go. No, that doesn't... Yeah, there we go. All right. And boom. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first stream of the 2025-26 academic year here for Wartburg Esports. I am Chris. I am the manager for the team. I run the streams. I do a bunch of stuff, as well as I am on the Smash team. I co-captain with John Longgone, who will be playing tonight. It's had a few team members leave the Mario Kart squad last year. Specifically, I believe it was Lukey, 84. I don't actually know if he used the numbers ever. And Cookie Cat. Those are the two big departures for this team. They've had a little bit of recruiting, though. The big members that are staying, obviously, John Longgone, Lewis and Clark, as well as Squid. Those are the big three, but they have 3 additions for this scrimmage, specifically against the University of Florida. You can see it up there. You can also see the, I wanted to keep that there. And I think whenever a team wins something, I'll just toss it on the background. I think it looks nice. So, you know, you keep it. It's, you know, it's nice to have. I think it's a cool thing to show off what the team has accomplished. So hopefully it looks all right to you guys. If not, I'm not opposed to just getting rid of it. I'm not a huge stickler for it. I think it looks all right, though, and I actually have to add one for the Overwatch squad then. I have to get the actual definition of what they won was. But welcome to what is hopefully going to be a good year. This is the first stream of the year. Some teams have had some scrimmages here and there, but this is the first one that we have been able to get on stream, thankfully. And yeah, I'm really excited for it. Mario Kart has moved up to, I believe it's Division 3 this year. Let me double check that real quick. I will make sure I have my information correct. I actually cannot remember off the top of the dome as I roam around my space. Where is that? That was in announcements. Yes, Division 4. Wartburg College in Division 4 for the Collegiate Karting League, which will be starting up soon. I don't actually have... I haven't seen a definitive on the days yet. I have to go in a little bit further so I can make a schedule for them and put that out on the socials. Rocket League starting up tomorrow, actually, again in the MVEC. Who they are playing, I cannot remember off the top of my head, sadly. But that will be going tomorrow. And then the rest of the games that are in season for this fall is going to be Rocket League and Marvel Rivals. I already said Rocket League, but it will be Marvel Rivals as well, which will be competing in the NECC. Rocket League will also be in the NECC on top of the MVEC. And actually, I don't know if I think I tweeted this out, or I retweeted the MVEC account posting this. Rocket League will be hosting their grand finals here at Wartburg College in the I think it's, I can't remember who it's named after, but the Lyceum will be host of the MVEC grand finals for Rocket League. That'll be a double elimination tournament. We'll have the top 4 teams of the conference here in Waverly, hoping that Wartburg is one of them. Either way, it's going to be a beautiful spectacle. I'm going to be doing my absolute best to make sure that looks perfect for those who will be here in attendance and those who will be watching on stream. As more gets figured out about it, I will make sure to keep everybody in the loop, either on socials or here in streams, as I think we are getting ready to boot up the first game. I spun my chair on accident, so it's actually blocking the screen that I need to look at. Let me fix that real quick. Yeah, we're waiting. Waiting in the lobby. I think Lewis and Clark gave me a time of around 7:12 is when it should actually be starting up. So very excited to see how this is. It's the same format. Obviously, Mario Kart World came out before the start of the season, but the Collegiate Karting League decided to stay on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as a way to just make it easier for people, really. Not everyone has the ability to get a Switch 2 yet. So, you know, there's plenty of time. Then, I've probably said this, the games that will be in the winter, also Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as well as Overwatch 2, and I believe Mario Kart will also be carrying over just a little bit into the winter, as it's a little bit different how they run their seasons. As we await the lobby to get full. I gotta clean off this table. It shows up fine for you guys, but it's a little bit dirty for me, so it's like, that's the thing. I wish I could move this is my only complaint, really. I wish I could move the TV to be, like, near the camera more, so I'm not looking off to the side at all. I could easily, like a teleprompter, I could just look up or look, around our camera to have it be a bit easier for me to stay looking at the screen, as well as keeping you informed by looking directly into the camera. I don't know why I did that. All right. It seems like we are getting ready to put this up. 4, 6, 8, 10. Waiting on 2 more people to show up in the lobby, and then we will get underway. Someone just zipped out. I don't know what that was. The headset's there for the empty chair. That's the thing. It always, it feels a little weird whenever there's no one else in here, because I just keep this chair. Because if I move it anywhere else, it's a little bit too cramped, and it looks just weird outside of the stream. But also, if I'm sitting in the middle, I'm going to be blocking this, which is the only game that has it, by the way. I have to make one for Overwatch 2. No, one for Overwatch, because I came runner-up. So, things for me to do. I gotta fill hours on my internship, so it's all chill. And by fill hours, I mean genuinely do work that I'm interested in. I just like to say it's filling hours, because I don't know why. It makes it seem like it's boring, despite the fact that it's something that I actively enjoy doing. So, but yeah, it's always fun, the waiting game with Mario Kart. It's really the only game that has this kind of... No, that's a lie. I haven't produced Smash, obviously. I've been playing every time that it's been on stream. But it is a lot of waiting around. It's, I think, the most amount of waiting around out of anything, really. Because it's, you gotta announce your character, you gotta manage your stages, you gotta pick the stage, you gotta boot it up. Oh, an announcement. It's not really an announcement, it's more just a thing of... It was also put out on Twitter, at least, but the Smash Brothers team will be heading to Honey Pot. It is a tournament. It's crews, it's singles, it's a bunch of other games that will be taking place this weekend. It starts Friday at 10. No. I think we're leaving here at 10. It's in Davenport. It seems like it's going to be a fun time. I can't wait to see how it goes. I'm hoping we do all right. Obviously. I bought a new controller for this. Terrible snapback, by the way. It's got terrible snapback. That's fun. That's really fun. I've already lasered a lot of times when I'm not off of stage, when I'm trying to hit my opponent. It's kind of annoying. It is what it is. That's what I get for buying the Spice Orange. That's my fault. And another one of them just left the lobby. That's one thing that that is better about Smash. You only have to connect 2 switches. It's not 12. If no one's playing split screen, that is. As we wait longer and longer, you just saw the green of the green screen there. That's what the shadows will do. Just take this up a little bit. Nope, mistake. A little bit too much. Is that all right? I can't tell. It's actually kind of hard for me to tell. It's like, it's very finicky. This is right. This is the correct tone. If I had lights in front of me, it'd be a lot easier because there wouldn't be the, standard lighting shadows. As we still are waiting. I hope you guys like the music that's playing. It's NCS, no non-copyright sounds, so it's always good. I thought I just saw lyrics in this song. Some of them do have lyrics. I really thought they were already going, by the way, when I saw gameplay on the Lewis and Clark screen. Nope. Lied to once again. What can you expect from a guy who plays 2 games about cars? Rocket League and Mario Kart. You can never trust him. Can't trust him. And, one person to fill the lobby, and then we will be underway as Wartburg will be taking on the University of Florida, who are actually in their division. I don't know if this is just like a B team thing. It's not, at least for Wartburg, really. Or more just, that's fun to do. It's weird to look at on screen. Sorry, putting my hands away. Yeah, this is a scrim between 2 soon-to-be division rivals. There is a fly. That's annoying. There's a fly in the stream room. That's gonna annoy me. So if you hear me if you hear me go, get scared or anything, that's why, as we are getting ready to get into this game, just about time. Sit down here, turn off that music, turn up Mario Kart. Okay. Neo Bowser City, the pick from Wartburg. Waluigi Stadium from the University of Florida. All right. So, it is time. Race number 1, we will be watching the Lewis and Clark point of view. The Mario Kart captain. The delay, there it is. And the preseason proper, really, has begun for Mario Kart as this race kicks off. Lewis and Clark's first box. Point picks up one on the road there. Waluigi Stadium is the location. We'll be riding here on the sidewall. A good way to get out of the mud when You see it here, the short hops on this side as a way to make sure you don't kick up too far on the half pipe. Did not see who that was behind Lewis and Clark. Got Banana in tow. You see it there, the orange Yoshis, the blue Yoshis for the University of Florida. As well as John Longbone's speciality of the Daisy pick. I see a Dry Bones, I see a Birdo. I think those are really the only special characters. A Bullet Bill, though, now getting sent through. As Lewis and Clark doing a great job front running here. Does have a University of Florida driver behind him, though. Another Banana in the pocket. Followed up by a Coin. Big Coin moves. Actually, a decent amount of chunk between Lewis and Clark and the next Wartburg racer. As there are 4 blue Yoshis separating him and John Longone. 2 bullets cutting their way through the field, though, as well as a star. That was for a University of Florida driver. Kicking off this half fight. Loose. Taken. Final corner. Ink in the face. Tricks there, gets hit by lightning. That's going to be a first place for Lewis and Clark as we await the rest of the results. Stayed in first the entire race. Started out there, naturally being host. And just kept up the position. Quite literally did not drop it once. And there it is. 5 straight blue Yoshis for Florida. So I will get that put into our scoring system. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. See it there. 12-point swing in favor of the University of Florida. That's Gremlin on Dry Bones. That's good to know. And Hidden on the Birdo pick. This is good for me to know. I never know who the Miis are. I know I had a hand at least making the burger. And 2 random picks. You'd love to see it. Round and around. There it goes. Where will it stop? Nintendo knows. Toad Harbor. As there, that actually was a lot quicker. Off they are. Taking ship. Coin in hand once again for Lewis and Clark, the front runner. There is a Bowser now on the course. Not sure who switched to him, quite frankly. That's literally the first time I've ever seen a Bowser. I'm kind of taken aback by it. Lewis and Clark tricking over all of the trolley cars. Does have a gator behind him. Clips the grass there. Is going to be able to trick off the boat still. Tight race between these two up front. Hidden doing a good job trying to stay in the fight for 3rd place. Just dropping back a little bit, though. Wartburg still back loaded. Green shell into Bob-omb. Now it's just the Bob-omb for Lewis and Clark. As there's one thrown ahead of him. Red shell on the way is going to drop the bomb, able to clear that out, picks up a banana in the process. Final lap now here in Toad Harbor. Red shell incoming. Stopped once again. And actually a shock. That's good progress from a Wartburg Yoshi fighting his way into second place. Or just about it. That's Squid. Takes the second place. Now Lucas and Clark does have a little bit of a cushion to drive, a little bit safer. I know he's not going to. As he throws away his banana. Doesn't see a need for it. Picks up another coin. Bob-omb also. Squid takes first place. Bob-omb dropped. Blue shell incoming. Is not going to hit Lewis and Clark in time. Squid first. Lewis and Clark second. That Yoshi for Florida finishes third. Will do anything but the meta. Dry Bones into Bowser, an interesting combination. As we will punch in these numbers, I do believe it was a positive swing for Wartburg given the first, second, and fourth finishes, as well as a sixth from mostly John Longon and Hidden 11th and 12th respectively. 10-point swing now, Wartburg only down 2. I didn't make an attempt to move the mic away from my mouth during that. So if you heard me drink water, I apologize. That was gross. That was bad on my part. My apologies. Neo Bowser City. Top scorer, Lewis and Clark, followed by University of Florida's Max. Either Max or Maxi. There's an E at the end of it, and 2 X's. Wade starts it off in first, though. They bounce back and forth. Clark red shell in hand. See Gremlin there, trailing behind. Top 4 spots actually belong to Wartburg. At least the top 3. The fight very close in the 4th spot. Mostly getting hit there. Saw the Birdo, spin out. This is more of what you expected to see out of Wartburg here. As they are holding that top 4. Sorry, top 3. I didn't see the Yoshi drop. The orange Yoshi drop. Burns the red shell. Banana in tow. A bomb get thrown. Sometimes when the carters stop, I don't know if it's a lag or I don't know if it's them falling off, quite frankly. One thing that Wartburg has to worry about is falling off themselves. As they're in the process of it, a University of Florida Yoshi has broken through into second place. And a shock thrown out. There was a Yoshi for Florida that didn't get picked up by the shock, had a star on. And now that Yoshi is cutting their way through. Close in, has a piranha plant, that's why. Woofy is not able to catch up to Lewis and Clark. Finishing in first once again. Wartburg 4th, 5th. We'll wait to see what the scores turn out after this race. It's not showing me the little pop-up anymore. I'm kind of upset by that. Normally it would just add something I'll figure out. So, Wartburg. Make sure this is, there we go. Dude, I'm so close to getting this bug. Finished first. John Long Gone in 4th. Squid 6th. Gremlin followed by Hidden 8th and 9th. And then it's mostly in at 11th. Wartburg tie it up. 1-2-3 to 1-2-3. Well, I was about to take a sip of water, then I really remembered that I have to be considerate and move my mic away. There we go. Lewis and Clark, top scorer, 42 points. Only finished one race outside of the first spot so far, and that was to give Squid the win. As a, I wouldn't call it, you know, unselfish. It was more to try to hit a bomb. So, you know, exactly virtuous from him. I keep talking about him like he's a bad person. Does have a coin in hand and does pick one up on the ramp. Trick into the flowing water. It's not a river, really. Here. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the name now. I should have looked. I think it's Koopa Cave, but that's wrong. Banana in hand for the first time. A Florida driver has first place. I guess not first time, but the longest time that a Florida driver has had first place. The first lap completed behind a Florida driver. Boo takes away the triple bananas. Lewis and Clark, though, does end up with a red shell. Gonna back up for that blue shell. That's John Long Gone getting hit by it. It's silly watching everyone just come to a standstill. Nailed by a green shell there. I believe it's Squid up in first, though, for Wartburg. Gonna get the double box. Triple mushrooms into a fire flower for Lewis and Clark. Bullet Bill coming up behind him. Hits him. I thought it was gonna run out by then. I thought that green shell up top was a real blue shell. And I was thinking, why would it drop on 5th place? That's on me. Golden mushroom for Lewis and Clark. Gonna cut through the grass. Hits the ramp, though. Golden next to Golden. Runs out of it before, thankfully, able to get out of the grass. Bullet Bill incoming, though. Is gonna stop. Fireflower thrown. Hits Max for Florida. Julio getting passed up. Once again for Florida. These boosts going to try to keep Lewis and Clark out of range. It is, I believe, Squid who took first place. Star. Barely. Lewis and Clark picks up 5th place there. Almost gets past. Getting squished again. Still as a mini. 1-2 for Squid and John Long Gone for Wartburg. Bug is really annoying me, I'll be honest. That's 1st, 2nd, 5th, 8th, 9th, and 11th for Wartburg. Puts them up, plus 10 once again. As they take their first lead. As they look to go to Paris. Know anything about Hitman speedrunning? You want to do the opposite of go to Paris. That's for all of the very well-known Hitman speedrun fans. I believe this is Berlin? Athens. I guess that makes sense that yeah. That was just me being dumb. Driving through the, hold on, I'll get there. I almost said Parthenope, but I don't know if that's true. I actually don't remember what this building is called. That's on me. That's on me for forgetting my world history classes. Apologize if there's a little bit of skipping in the audio. I can't explain why that is. Unsure as to what's happening there, but it's something we got to deal with for now. I think this is only where it started, so hopefully it's just for this race. I really am unsure what that could be. Double reds loaded up for Lewis and Clark, though. Let's get hit, keeping him in the pocket. Throws one out there. Throws out the second one. A star coming up behind him is going to trick off of these grates, except for that last one. To get a drop, uses the mushroom to cut across that grass. I do apologize for this choppy audio. I am unsure what it is. Hopefully, it's just for this race. Really not much. Once things get set up here for the Switch games, it's kind of hard to change it on the fly. Especially in Mario Kart, as there's such a fast-paced thing compared to others. Triple Reds is a double trick, actually, for Lewis and Clark behind Gremlin. Florida's Racer up in first place, might be able to take their first victory of this one. They, of course, had a plus 12 for them, did the Gators, in their first race. And a blue shell being sent forward, dropping back. Are they going to hit the finish line before it goes? Yes, they will. Lewis and Clark gets passed up by two racers from Florida. Finishes up in 7th. But 2-3-4 still for Wartburg. Not perfect, but not a bad race at all for the Knights. 2nd for John Longon, 3rd for Squid, 4th for Gremlin, 7th for Lewis and Clark, 9th for Hidden, and 11th for Mosley. It's a plus 4 for Wartburg. I really did think that one was going to be... No, I probably should have predicted that it was going to be a Wartburg swing. They finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Those are the pretty good positions still. Though if Lewis and Clark had gone any lower, I do believe it would have been at least even. We await the options. A rather mixed group here from Florida. Just letting fate decide. And Twisted Mansion. I thought it pulled... I thought it pulled from only the options. Unless I'm just oblivious to how Mario Kart actually works. Also an option. And they are off Wartburg with a 14-point lead here as we are in race 6. After this, we will be halfway done. Through the shortcut, Lewis and Clark and John long gone. Coin into coin into coin. True combo into another coin. Yes. That's top 3 at least. Potentially top 4 all belonging to Wartburg. 2 bananas in hand for Lewis and Clark. Yeah, a lot of University of Florida drivers stuck in the back. Top 3 certainly is orange. Round the bend does Lewis and Clark go. And now underwater. Blue shell incoming. Does have a lot of space to him, though. Tried to hit the banana before the blue shell could get him. He's going to pick up this double box. In it 2 items that could be used offensively. That's good for him. Pick it up there. And now on to final lap. Florida has shoved some racers in front of John Long Gone. I think that's 2. Maybe it is 3. It was about 4, and a skip. Oh my goodness, words would function. A shock dodge there for John Longon as he boosts himself into first place. Bit of ink on the screen. Bullet Bill flying in also. It's Squid, then Julio for Florida fighting. Joseph Clark checking back, making sure always to know what's happening. Piranha Plant in hand, picked up for the boost. Is going to give a 4th place finish, a cut there on the grass. That one was for Max. Maxie, I really don't know. When you, and it's not like I can ask for a pronunciation sheet like I can for traditional sports, because it's just kind of up to people to determine how they want it said. So it's weird. Excuse me. 1st, 2nd, 4th, 7th, 10th, and 11th for Wartburg. That's a 12-point swing in their favor. Up 26 now. That first race. Not a true sign of what they are. As we are now halfway done with this scrimmage between these 2 squads. Round and around we go. There it is. Race number 7. Am I tangled up like that crazy? No, we're all good. It's all good. They are off. Drove into a wall, maybe. Everyone taking this right side. I personally am unsure why. I'm unsure. I guess it's just a straight line. There are still some things that the karters do that I do not fully understand still. This Mario Kart World, you could grind on that, by the way. I've played the game. Have I played it once? I think I've played the game once. And Lewis and Clark, his coins, he was waiting. He took a delay for him, then he instantly got hit. Dropped him. And thus starts the bagging. All the way in last place. Going to take the shortcut through the stairwell. Bullet Bill in hand. 10th now. Gonna hold on to it for as long as possible. Has a star also, is gonna use it now to cross the finish line. Try to extend it. Is gonna by putting it in these turns. Drops him in 4th place. Blue shell incoming. That's gonna hit Gremlin. Shock dropped. 2nd and 3rd belong to Wartburg, as does 4th. However, not for long. 1st and 2nd now go to Florida. Swap that once again. A lot of movement in the top 3. It seems like Lewis and Clark is going to pass it. 1st place, followed by a Florida racer. Followed by 2 Florida racers, actually. They were able to get in there. That top 5 was really shaking up around. Just a lot in general. as Wartburg finished that one in first and fourth and fifth, seventh and eighth, and then rounding it off, 11th. 8 points to them now. Wartburg only dropped points. Points? Yes, they're points. I'll be honest, I forget that they just got to pick it. They got the whole options. That's why random. I am so used to seeing the 3 slot options still that I forget that they can just go wherever they want to. But again, Wartburg only dropped points one time. That was that first race where they dropped 12. That's been the biggest point swing on top of race number 6, which was also a 12-point swing in favor of Wartburg, though. So outside of that, they've been completely positive, as we will head up where the Wigglers play at Maple Treeway. Off they are. What a good song. I'm not gonna hum it. That's too much. That is too much. It was Clark bumping into the leaf piles, throwing out 2 mushrooms. Is getting chased by a red. Had a green shell in the pocket though to counteract it. I'm actually unsure the drop rate of the leaf piles. Point in hand is going to be useful for Lewis and Clark as he gets hit by that red. Star trailing behind him. 2 stars actually trailing behind him as he's going to let everyone go on by. And thus starts the bag. Place now for Lewis and Clark. That's top 3 belonging to Florida. Star in hand, Lewis and Clark. Dodges around the banana. John Longon and Squid also bagging. Star into Golden Mushroom. Gonna be saved for this top pass. Pick up another box. Get these boost pads into the cannon. It's a star lined up for Lewis and Clark. A star into the double box. It's another star in the box. Has a while to go though to catch up to these 3 Florida drivers. Bullet Bill actually hit one of them. Unsure. Oh, I guess it's just 2 now. Actually, my apologies. That's a piranha plant coming in use, as well as a mushroom that gets stolen straight away. Blue shell flying in also. Isn't going to do anything. The first 1-2 to Florida. Seems like might be the time for them to flip the points back in their favor. Third and fourth, Gremlin, Lewis and Clark respectively, then Squid 6th, John Long on 8th, Hidden 9th, and Mostly in 12th. There it is. Florida takes some points back. It's 10. 24-point lead now for Wartburg. As the countdown clicks. And Another random pick from default. Oh, which one is that? That's not C. That might be default B. And it's another random, and it's Wario Summit. Sorry, Mount Wario. I thought DK Summit. So, actually, I think this might be the first ever section race that we've seen on stream. I didn't even realize that when you dropped out of the plane, the music spiked when you hit the ground. That's really cool. I actually think that's really sick. Just shows the musical direction of Mario Kart games is absolutely astounding. Now, I actually have no clue how this race is going to go. As previously stated, I think this is the first ever section race that we've seen on stream. I don't exactly know when's the... Oh my goodness, excuse me. A big yawn. Not because of this gameplay, though. That was terrible. I'm sorry for that one. But no, this has been very exciting. This first Mario Kart stream of the year. Shock hit. Lewis Clark drops both his triple mushroom, at that point double, and his star. Picks up another star right away, though, sitting in 10th now. Make that 9th, maybe even 8th soon. He's certainly going to try to. 8th, now 7th. As he crosses over into the final section of the race, the slalom. I actually just realized that we have seen Mount Wario before, so that was a lie by me. Lewis and Clark, 4th place. Squid trailing 3rd. Or Squid ahead in 3rd behind 2 Florida drivers. As we get around to this final huge jump into the glider section. Now we've hit the bottom. 2 turns to go. Lewis and Clark cuts across the snow. Is going to have a red to his back and does not matter. Picks up 1st place. I believe Squid actually threw himself in front of that one. As 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 12 for Florida. It seems like they will be back in the positives for this race. Only one way to find out. Yes, 8 points in favor of Florida. They now have 3 races to overcome 16 points. As I try to remember what the maximum points is. I actually could not tell you off the top of my head. I forgot what it was completely. I completely forgot that there was a Mount Wario race last year. We are here on Rainbow Road, one of the many Rainbow Roads. That are in Mario Kart 8. Skips. Once again. Long jump. I forgot you could do that, quite frankly. Also, hello, Luke, in the Twitch chat. I'm doing my best to stay on top of the gameplay, so I haven't really been able to read much. Lewis and Clark sitting first. 2 Florida Carters behind. John long gone. Negotiates Gremlin. Rounding out the rear. Banana into bomb, the combo for Lewis and Clark. That doesn't seem real. Oh my goodness. I'm not even going to say anything about gravity because it is space. But that was certainly a weird function of it. Going to try to drop the bomb. It does hit. Blue shell incoming for Lewis and Clark. Not going to be able to dodge it at all. Did give himself enough space, though. The music is choppy. I apologize for that. I don't know why it's on specific tracks that the audio gets messed up. It is what it is. As it seems like this is going to be a good race for Wartburg. Clark still saying first place. He's going to pick up his coins. Does get the blue dodge. That's going to hit a Florida driver. Oh, into Squid's star, though. The 1-2 for Florida still on the table. As we're going to go into this final cross section, into this hairpin to figure out what we're going to end up with. Florida have first essentially secured. Lewis and Clark falls off the track. Is going to put him down all the way into 9th. But it's a Wartburg 2 that's fighting to they're close. Gonna wait to see what the true result is. Squid finishes up in 3rd. John Longon in 4th. Then it's 7th for Hidden. 8th is Lewis and Clark after that fall off the track. Gremlin in 10th. Mostly in 11th. As that will be a decent swing for Florida. That's 12, a difference of only 4 now with 2 races to go. This one will come down to the final race, unless Wartburg decide to get a max. In which case they just can't win. And another random choice. Gonna skip over them. Tokyo Blur. It is the penultimate round. And the audio's fine here. I really don't know what it is. And the bag is parked right away. See, awful. For Florida doing the same as well as Squid. And there's Max. Turning around. Star in hand, star used. By Lewis Clark hits hits the womp. 3 mushrooms around him. Star in the pocket. That's what you say when the quarterback is good. Star in the pocket. Oh, that was stupid. Star used by Lewis Clark. Blue shell flying in. That one's going to hit John Longon. Does come down. Does have plenty of space, though. Banana in hand for Lewis and Clark. Green shell does hit him on the bounce. Shock used. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all blue. That's Squid coming up now. Air horn not able to be used on the final lap. 6th place. Second and third fought back for by Wartburg. That's going to be a nice point swing for them. First, second, third, 6th, 11th, and 12th. That's 12 points. They have made up just a little bit of what the problem was that last race. And by that, I mean exactly. They scored 12 points. I meant on this little bleed that they've had. Puts them up 16 points once again. Florida needs an outstanding race if they want to take this one. Now the question is, where will this end? Paris. Perry Romano. That one was worse. That was probably the worst one that I've had all stream. I apologize. Shy guys on the side. So chill. Actually, now that I think about it, those Shy guys are huge. Those are the same size as the racers. Anyways, I'm going to stop thinking about the logistics of that. Lewis and Clark unable to pick up that box there. Got stolen right ahead of him. Didn't replenish in time. Top 3, though, sitting orange. Around the Eiffel Tower we go. Big old piranha plant sitting in the center of the roundabout. Around the Arc de Triomphe. That's first and second. A fight for third to stay to Wartburg. John Long Gone racing one of the Florida Yoshis. Most racers for Florida specifically actually going through the Eiffel Tower. Oh, a bump on the curb there made Lewis and Clark drop that boost. Pick it up anyways. Flips the corner, keeps the glide. Through the pipes. Going to be a guaranteed first place essentially for Lewis and Clark. Question is, where second, third going to fall? It seems like Wartburg, though, do have this one wrapped up, as they will have at least 3 of the top 4. Lewis and Clark goes through the wooden board, picks up first for the final time. And that will be it, locked up. Second place is a battle. We'll wait to see the official scores, but Wartburg, from what it seems like, first place. Second to Squid. Fourth to John Long Gone. And that should be more than enough. First, second, fourth, 6th, 10th, and 11th. Plus 14, the best race of the game. Points-wise was there, and Wartburg take it, a 30-point victory over Florida. And that will conclude what was an interesting one. It was down to the wire towards the end. It was just not such a close race. 4-point lead for Wartburg going into those last 2 races. They did what they could, made it a 30-point difference in the end. As I'll switch it over to the caster's camera. that was really good though. That was a good first stream. A little bit of a, rough patches to start it off. Lewis and Clark lying to me. Are we good? Okay. I thought something just smacked and broke. We're all good though. Lewis and Clark lying to me, starting his gameplay early. And by gameplay early, I mean just being in a pub lobby. Just playing the game, warm-ups. But yeah, thank you for everyone who watched this. Thank you everyone who will watch this on the VODs. I'm looking at you, Lewis and Clark. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow for Rocket League as they will play their first game in the MVEC. Hope to see you for that one. Now I have to go sit back in that chair. I just wanted to say goodbye on camera. Don't forget that. Look at that for a second. Anyways, good night.